Welcome, guys, to Super Bowl 59 Sunday. I am so excited. I took a few days off just to get back in the grind. My microphone cord came in. My mic is back. Let's talk about Super Bowl Sunday, everyone. I'm so excited. If you do enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. Go to the link tree in my comments in my description down below. Follow me on everything, especially TikTok. I've been breaking down a lot of the NBA news and also, my NFL talk as well. There I talked about the NFL honors, my reactions, everything. So if you want to know what I thought about the NFL honors awards, go to my TikTok and watch my latest video. But today we're talking about Super Bowl Sunday. I'm very happy, man. This is the end of the season. So sadly, no more NFL football. But in spring, we have the UFL, which is more fun football with a bunch of guys that could maybe make it back to the NFL next year. You have the combine, you have the draft. I'm so excited. Free agency as well. You guys know my off-season plans is all I love to do. I love planning ahead. I'm so excited. But we got to see these two teams face off tonight. The Eagles versus the Chiefs in New Orleans. I want to go over the game, what I think is going to happen, my final prediction, and then on Monday, we'll walk back this video, see what I got right, see what I got wrong. Let's get into it. So, first off, what do I think is going to happen? I think, let's go quarterback for quarterback. Let's go down the whole roster. Quarterback, offensive line, weapons, defense, all right? So, quarterback. Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, I'm going to lean Patrick Mahomes in this matchup, but I think they both can have pretty good games. I don't think either one of them are going to have like 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. This could be a very, very low scoring game. I think these defenses are going to control the pace of these teams. I would be shocked if there's over 10 possessions total. I think it's going to be a 21-20, 21-18 type of game where one mistake costs the other team a win. So I really don't think we'll have over 10 possessions. Both teams love to run the ball. Obviously, one team has a home run hitter. The other team is more consistent running. But in my opinion, at quarterback level, the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, I'm expecting probably 200, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns maybe. That's where they get the touchdowns on the air. But I also fully expect Patrick Mahomes to rush one in. I think there is a real world where Patrick Mahomes says, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. For this three-peat, I'm going to run in the touchdown. Whether they're in the red zone, the pocket breaks down, this elite secondary from the Eagles covers everyone, and Patrick Mahomes leaks out of the corner and no one can get him. I think that's a possibility. I also think Jalen Hurts will absolutely score a tush-push touchdown. That is a guarantee. At the end of the video, we're going to go over some bets that I think are going to happen. But, yeah, quarterback, I am going to lean Kansas City Chiefs. But I think both quarterbacks, if they hit over 200 yards, I think that's a good game from them. But also, if they don't hit 200 yards, how do they not hit 200 yards? Was it an effective, efficient 180, or was it an ineffective 120, right? It all depends on what the numbers come down to and me watching the game. But quarterback, I'm going to be leaning, obviously, the Chiefs. But that's what I expect. Is Patrick Mahomes, 2 to 250. Jalen Hurts, I think around 180, 200 is where I can feel they're going to go. Right, I fully expect it's going to be the run game is going to be the most dominant part of this game. If they lean too much into the pass game, they're overthinking it, right? And Kellen Moore is overthinking it. Probably the only remaining suitor for the Saints gig is Kellen Moore. So we'll see what Kellen Moore does, but I would be very shocked if they go into a pass-heavy scheme in this game. They know what they need to do. They need to run the ball with Saquon Barkley. He has rushed them to the Super Bowl. I would be shocked if they let that go. Then, talking about the weapons. So for the Chiefs, obviously, you don't have Rashee Rice, who is out for the entire season. You have Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown. You have a solid group of wide receivers, an okay group of running backs, right? Isaiah Pacheco hasn't been the same since injury yet. Kareem Hunt has been averaging 3 yards a carry, but always scores a touchdown. And then, arguably a top 5 tight end of all time. So I expect, like I said, I think Travis Kelce knows what they're trying to do. If they pull off this three-peat, he knows what that means for his own legacy to be ranked as the #1 tight end of all time. Right? Because he has what he's chasing. He's chasing Rob Gronkowski as the greatest tight end of all time. He knows that 4 rings and a three-peat gets him even closer to being the #1 tight end of all time. So I think Travis Kelce easily you can put him for over 100 yards. I think Travis Kelce over 100 yards can be a sure bet because Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce in the playoffs are special. DeAndre Hopkins, I think, will also get focused more on because, again, this would be his first Super Bowl he's ever appeared in. And if they win it, his first ring, I think they're going to try and use him as much as they can as well. They've been saving him, ready, getting him ready for the big game. And I think you could easily see 4 or 5 catches, 60 yards from DeAndre Hopkins. I think Xavier Worthy, you could definitely see it end around, go for 15, 20 yards. I think Xavier Worthy could also hit a home run hit. Hollywood Brown still coming back from injury, nothing really special yet. But I think, he could easily get 2 or 3 catches in big moments. Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, I expect a touchdown between the two of them. Probably from Kareem Hunt. But this offensive line for the Chiefs is really good. For the Chiefs, they can honestly have a dual threat offense. Obviously, the Eagles can as well. We're talking about the Chiefs right now, though, right? Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, who can, think and dine his way down the field, and then, it's hard-nosed running in for a touchdown. Or you have the weapons and the quarterback to hit a home run. You have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL that, obviously is going to be going through some reshaping this offseason because Trey Smith is a free agent. You signed Creed Humphrey. I think Joe Thuney is also a free agent, but I think they've already said he's going to be coming back. So, you have question marks of, hey, who's going to be here next year? So let's try and win it when we have the best offensive line we're going to have for the next couple of years. This is the best iteration they've had in the Patrick Mahomes era and more than likely we'll ever have in the Patrick Mahomes era. Then for the Eagles, obviously, that dominant offensive line, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and a bunch of, solid guys behind them, Jahan Dotson, Grant Calcaterra, Kenneth Gainwell. This weapon room and offensive line for Jalen Hurts is, in my opinion, better than the Chiefs. I think they're the better offensive line, and I think their talent is better. Obviously, Saquon Barkley was in contention for MVP, won Offensive Player of the Year, but, they're not going to give a running back the MVP until they break the rushing yards or touchdowns award in a season. They're never going to give it to them until they break that. But in my opinion, Saquon Barkley was the best player, period, in the NFL this last year. So I fully expect Saquon Barkley to have over 100 yards rushing, and I think it's all going to be in the second half. I think the first half, he's going to get bottled up, but the second half, he's going to be able to break through. We've seen in his season so far, second half, Saquon Barkley is real. Just like Nick Chubb when he was healthy before the major injury from Minka Fitzpatrick, second half Nick Chubb was the best running back in the NFL. And I think Saquon Barkley has taken that title and gone even further. He is, in the second half, averaging like 7 yards a carry, 100 yards and a touchdown. Like, this dude in the second half could have the best Super Bowl performance from a running back we've seen. When it comes to Jalen Hurts in the passing game, I expect A.J. Brown to be getting plentiful of targets. I think Devontae Smith will probably have more catches when A.J. Brown has more targets. Dallas Goedert, I fully expect Dallas Goedert to be effective in the passing game. But this run game, this offensive line is where it's going to, the bread and butter is going to go through. Like I said, I think Jalen Hurts, 180 efficiently is where you want to go when it comes to the passing game because you have Saquon Barkley. And I think Saquon over 100 yards is what I would expect from Saquon Barkley, plus a touchdown, at minimum 1 touchdown. So you can see, I think Patrick Mahomes more with his arm will get it more done, while Jalen Hurts can have a more efficient 180 and through the ground game, getting more yardage. Defensively, I mean, these teams are so good defensively. The Eagles definitely have the better defense and the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. Vic Fangio's doing a great job. When it comes to the defensive line, it's very deep, but Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie are the best at their specific positions, right? Trent McDuffie is the best corner, and Chris Jones is the best defensive lineman. However, when it comes to the Eagles, they have Jalen Hurts, Milton Williams, they have Josh Sweat. Like, their defensive line is better and more deep, while the Chiefs starters are good, but they don't got rotation guys. The Eagles got rotation guys. Nolan Smith, Zach Bond, who was the best linebacker in the NFL this last year. And then they have, there's plethora of secondary guys, and Reed Blankenship, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Darius Slay, Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. This Eagles defense, by far, is better than the Chiefs defense as a whole. Trent McDuffie, again, is the best corner in the game. But the Eagles, man, are just so deep, and every single one is so good. So I fully expect this Eagles team to dictate the pace of the game. And because the Eagles like to run the ball so much and they're so effective, I think that's going to slow down the pace of the entire game as well. So the defense will slow the Chiefs down to where, maybe they only get 5 possessions in the game, while the Eagles run the clock down. and they only have 4 possessions, maybe 5 possessions. But I don't see this going over 10. I don't see each team getting 6, 7, 8 possessions. I don't see it happening. I think it's gonna be a very low scoring game. I think, Saquon Barkley, if the Eagles win, will win a Super Bowl MVP. And I think if the Chiefs win, you can see a Travis Kelce or a Patrick Mahomes win MVP. I would like to see a defender win it. Maybe Chris Jones has 3 sacks somehow. Maybe Trent McDuffie has a pick 6 or something. But I don't see them not giving it to an offensive player. So for the Eagles, I think Saquon would get it. For the Chiefs, I think Patrick or Travis. But who do I think is going to win? I think, like I said earlier in this game, I think what was going to happen, we could see a 24, 24 to 20 win. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be 24 to 20. I think it'll be 3 touchdowns and a field goal for the winner, and 3 touchdowns with a missed field goal with a missed extra point for the other team. And they lose because they can't kick a field goal to go in overtime. They have to throw a Hail Mary and try and get a touchdown to win the game. And who do I think is going to win 24-20? I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is the Eagles' year, man. I think they have the best defense. They have the best running back. They have an amazing wide receiver core, the best offensive line. If they're not going to win it this year, they're not going to win it, right? The Lions were able to lose. They didn't have to face the Lions. They had to face the Commanders. They had a very, I'm not going to say easy. They had a smooth way through the playoffs, right? I'm not going to say easy. It was definitely, they had to win those games still. But when it comes to the Chiefs and the Eagles, they both had pretty smooth entries into the Super Bowl. So for the Eagles, I fully expect them to win this game. Again, I think Saquon easily could have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Jalen Hurts could have 180 and a tush push, or 180 and an AJ Brown touchdown, and then a field goal from Jake Elliott. Then for the Chiefs side, I could easily see a Patrick Mahomes touchdown and a running back touchdown, a Travis Kelce touchdown, and Harrison Butker maybe misses a field goal somehow, and they can't kick a field goal to tie the game, so they have to go down, score a touchdown, and the secondary comes in clutch because, again, DeAndre Hopkins is a prime D-Hop. Hollywood Brown is still coming back from an injury. He's still recovering. He's only 6 or 7 weeks recovered so far. Xavier Worthy, very young wide receiver. I could easily see him not being the best. He's not at the peak of his career right now. It's his first year in the NFL. But Travis Kelce, I think him versus Zach Bond is going to be a very fun matchup. If Zach Bond's playing a lot of coverage compared to run defending and shooting the gaps, maybe they have another linebacker doing that while he's just covering Travis Kelce. It's going to be very fun to see. But I do expect the Eagles to win. And I think a 24-20 type of game where the Chiefs have to go down the field, have to score a touchdown to win the game. There's no kicking a field goal to tie it to go to overtime. I can absolutely see that situation happening and the Eagles stopping them. So we'll obviously come back to this when the game is over, and we'll see how my predictions went. But if you guys did enjoy it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. Please go to my description, follow me on everything, and I'll see you guys after the Super Bowl, and we'll talk about the offseason. But I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.